This is Hashtag History, episode 61. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Leah. Welcome. Yay! Welcome back to a brand spanking new season of Hashtag History. We are already on to our 7th season.
We're old.
We're so old. And we're so excited to continue on this journey with you all. You have been amazing.
Yes.
While we were on our break, you may have heard us on various other podcasts as guests, including...
We were on Women Who Sarcast.
The Dialogue podcast.
We joined Local Lou for a deep dive into the Dakota War of 1862.
We're also on Murder History Girls.
And then we also did Mimosa Sisterhood. We've been on a lot.
Yeah.
We've done a lot.
Wow. So we've been busy, really less of a break and more like a working sabbatical.
Working while on vacation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, checking our phones
email
while we're sitting on the beach.
Yeah. But Rachel, what else have we been up to?
I mean, I've been up to the same things you've been up to.
Yeah.
We do this together. But also during our season break, another thing that we did was like really diving into our Patreon more. So just for those that don't know, for $1 a month, you can go support us over on Patreon, and your donation goes directly to our books and booze supply, which helps us fund this podcast with lots of research and lots of alcohol. Mm-hmm. And as a huge thank you for supporting us, we always give a shout out on Instagram. We send you cards and stickers, and then we post all kinds of behind the scenes stuff on our Patreon that we don't necessarily always post on our social media.
Yeah, it's a fun time over there.
It is. Yeah, it's really fun.
So we're so excited to be kicking off season 7, and you longtime listeners know what that means for us. Mm-hmm. That means it's my takeover episode. Woo-hoo. For any newcomers, Rachel is usually our research gal, and I usually prepare the cocktails.
Those are our roles.
Yeah, but on our season openers, we reverse roles, which leaves us both, I think, feeling slightly uncomfortable and inadequate.
1,000,000%, yes. Okay. Being on this side of the mic, I like it, but it's different.
Yeah, it's very different.
Little uncomfy.
Mm-hmm. And for this season's opener, I think my topic will actually surprise some of you longtime listeners. Usually my episodes are inspired by whatever historical drama TV series I'm currently overly invested in at the time. Like, for instance, Outlander inspired the Jacobite Rebellion episode, or when I watched The Great, my next episode was Catherine the Great.
I'm surprised we're not doing The Crown.
Oh, yeah.
That's very relevant right now.
You're right.
So we're not diving into Queen Elizabeth or...
No, that's too big. Too big
Okay.
for a single episode. I don't think I could handle that.
Got it.
Also,
okay.
I don't want to be on anyone's watch list other than our FBI girls.
Other than that one, we don't want to be on the British monarchs also, their watch list as well.
Yeah, just the U.S.
Keep it
at
local.
home. And if you know me at all, you know my interests lie in more European or world history subject matter rather than American. Mm-hmm. But I'm breaking all my rules today, and we're going to focus instead on an American historical event. How do you feel about this?
I feel good.
I know.
I feel good. I feel at home. I feel in my element. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Today, I'm going to be focusing on, drum roll, the San Francisco earthquake of 1906. Mm-hmm. This infamous disaster struck the coast of Northern California on an early April morning in 1906 with an estimated magnitude of 7.9 and was felt as far north as Eureka, California. Some even say as far north as Oregon.
Wow.
And as far south as Salinas, California, sparking devastating fires and causing over 3,000 deaths.
Oh.
For those of you who have zero context or understanding of what that magnitude number means, don't worry. Neither did I really before my research.
Okay.
But we will learn together a little more than I ever thought I would know about seismic activity and earthquake magnitudes. It really took me back to like middle school, like geology.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the seismic magnitude stuff before moving on to the fun stuff like death tolls and destruction percentages. But before we do any of that, I think it's time for our cocktail.
Yay! I'm Rachel.
And I'm Leah.
And this is Hashtag History, the podcast for both history nerds and history haters alike,
where we dive into history's greatest stories of controversy, conspiracy, and corruption. So So, like Leah said, we switch up roles for the first episode of every season, and I take over the cocktail component for those episodes. Well, I wanted to really switch things up this time because here we are. It's March 2021.
Yeah, it's been a full year.
Yeah, it's been a year. And I mean, it's been
a year.
It's been a year.
It's been.
And as we all very, very well recall, it was March 2020 when the whole world went to shit.
Yeah.
In the last year of the pandemic, I've done many things to kill the time while staying at home, one of which is watching and rewatching endless episodes of the Great British Bake Off. That's how I've been productive this last year.
Not Catfish?
We finished it.
Oh, you finished all of Catfish.
I have finished all of Catfish and rewatched all of Catfish. So that's, moved on. British Bake Off.
Yeah.
The Great British Bake Off.
That's a shortener.
That was the way. Inspired by the show and the contestants that always include booze and their delicious treats, I decided to shake things up with this week's cocktail. And I made a cake instead of a cocktail.
I'm so excited.
But it's a boozy cake truly filled with Bailey's Irish cream liqueur.
Yeah.
To fit with this week's theme about the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, we are trying today the Bailey's Earthquake Cake.
Okay.
So I won't go into all the details about ingredients. Y'all don't need to know like how many eggs I put it in.
You don't think they're going to bake a cake along with us?
If you would like to, you can find this on omgchocolatedesserts.com. But to quickly sum up basically what this cake includes, it's chocolate fudge, vanilla pudding. We've got lots of Bailey's Irish cream. And then, like I said, your normal things like eggs, vegetable oil, vanilla, those sorts of things. And then you cover it with this like cream cheese. It's not really frosting because you bake it on it.
It's like a crumble.
Yes. So it's like cream cheese that has a lot of cream cheese, like literally a lot of cream cheese, a lot of powdered sugar, 2.5 cups of powdered sugar, and then also a lot of Bailey's Irish cream. In total, this cake took probably about an hour to make between prep time, baking time, and cooling time. I definitely felt like a contestant on the Great British Bake Off because I was like stressing, watching my cake baking in the oven like it was my little baby. I was checking on it like every 60 seconds.
And then if you open the oven to look at it, did someone yell at you like, don't open the oven?
Ruined the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Ready?
Yes.
Cheers.
Oh my God, cheers. It is so rich. You're right. But I'm still going to finish it all.
Yes, I'm going to finish it all too. You don't taste the Baileys very much, huh?
I do more in the frosting than in the cake itself.
Okay. It's in both.
Oh my God, it's really good though.
But
I'm glad you did this since I didn't eat lunch.
I didn't either. As I told Leah, so I did have to, of course, like lick the batter and stuff when I was making it. It's very rich. And so if you do make this cake, I would just say like tread lightly. I have gotten us very, very large slices of the cake.
I'm going to eat it all. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
I have zero self-control.
Then I'm going to be honest with you. Your stomach's going to hurt in like 20 minutes. That's all.
I don't know if you know my stomach very well. It's like been through a lot. And just a little piece of cake isn't going to do much for it. Like,
okay.
You
just can't say I didn't warn you.
Okay. All right.
But yeah. I mean, what's your rating?
For creativeness, for taste, for everything, 10 out of 10.
Do you think I would get the greatest British Bake Off award?
I don't know.
Wow.
No. This is really flippin' good. I just know that they're like borderline professionals. So I don't know.
And this was the first cake I've made this year.
You know, I feel like they judge a lot harsher than I would ever. Well, thank you for that.
Oh yeah. You're welcome.
I might have to take a couple breaks to finish it.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
I said that we should both tread lightly. We both ate at least 3/4 of it in 2 minutes.
Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a good, healthy lunch that we just had.
Right.
So, moving on. The 1906 San Francisco earthquake has always been on my periphery of knowledge. Being only 2 hours away from San Francisco, we definitely live in the affected area of this earthquake. And I have definitely seen the cultural effects of this event in our area and in the Bay Area, but I didn't know a ton of the details. How about you?
Same. I think exactly the same, having grown up literally we're only, what'd you say, 2 hours or whatever from San Francisco on a good day. On a good traffic day. I think also it's just been on the periphery of my knowledge. And then I also, my only other reference to it is because of the Winchester Mystery House. We did an episode about that, I think season 2.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
And it has some relevance in this because the earthquake was felt in San Jose where the Winchester Mystery House is. And Sarah Winchester was stuck in one of the rooms because of the earthquake and had to be like broken out of the room. She was so traumatized that she never again
would go in that room.
Like went in that room. She refurbished what she had to for like foundation and structure.
And didn't we see a picture of the damage?
And the damage from it meant that like now when you go visit the Winchester house, it's 4 stories tall, which is huge.
Yeah.
It's gigantic, but it used to be 7 stories. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But the 4 stories is because of the earthquake. So that's my other reference. Otherwise, I know nothing.
Okay. Well, buckle up.
I'm ready.
It may surprise people not living in California because I feel like there is a weird kind of stereotype or like trope that us Californians live with earthquakes like every day.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I have personally only felt 1 earthquake in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I am getting close to 30 years old. So they aren't that common. And the ones that do occur often are so small that most people don't even like register that they're happening.
Yes. The only one that I know, I had family that felt it. I was sleeping during it. So, and they like, they were like, that was kind of weird. And then they got like a KCRA notification, like earthquake. Like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. No, the only one I remember, I was still living at home. I think I was like early years of college, and I felt it. And like I go and I run into the room that my parents are at, and I'm like excited because I've never felt an earthquake, and it's not bad enough that it like it was there was any damage or anything. And I'm like smiling and laughing, and my mom was like, "Stop it!" She was like kind of freaking out, and I was just like sitting there like laughing, like, "Oh my god,
that's funny."
Yeah. So, anyways, that is not the case for the 1906 earthquake. And part of me thinks this earthquake is the reason why so many people equate California and California earthquakes with fear, disaster, death, and so on. It was devastating. So what happened?
Yeah.
Why has an earthquake left such a mark on California and really U.S. culture? Okay. This is the section of the episode that is going to get a little technical. So buckle up and put on your geological seismic hat, okay?
I don't even think I have one of those.
No. Who would?
Mine's never been used, so I don't think I have one.
Okay, the San Andreas Fault is a continental transform fault that forms part of the tectonic boundaries between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate. It is what is considered a strike-slip fault line, characterized by what they call lateral motion. So, in layman's terms, the Western or Pacific Plate moves northward, rubbing and bumping against the Eastern North American Plate. The San Andreas runs almost the entire length of California from the Salton Sea, which is inland of LA, all the way up to Cape Mendocino, which is near Eureka, California, or almost to the border of California and Oregon. This is a distance of 810 miles or 1,300 kilometers. So California's big, and it runs almost the entire length of California.
Wow. Okay, I just learned more than I learned in 3rd grade geology. All right.
It should be noted that the 1906 earthquake actually preceded the development of the Richter earthquake magnitude scale by 3 decades. So a lot of the seismic data we do have is estimated, and it's not necessarily accurate.
That is really interesting.
There was a long period of small, uneventful earthquakes in the decades leading up to the 1906 quake, which is widely accepted now to be the precursory activity to the main slip. And when I was researching and reading that, I was like, oh, that's probably what we're in right now, is all the precursory activity leading up to what's going to be a big-ass thing.
That makes me feel great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great.
Because we're like right on the fault, right? I think it runs between us and San Francisco.
I'm going to eat my cake.
Yeah. Okay. It's like imagine like how your tummy might grumble quietly a bit here, a bit there when you're hungry before what I like to refer to as the earth-shattering grumble occurs when my neighbors are like texting me like, did you hear something? Are you okay?
And it only never happens when you're sitting in, like you're doing your finals and it's dead quiet.
Or like a movie theater right when it's silent, like between previews or something.
Yeah, I actually... I was pulling from a personal reference with that like finals example. And I remember, so it happened. It's super quiet in there, obviously. My stomach literally like there was a monster inside of me. And I remember just like, I mean, okay, it's embarrassing. So I just did like a little like stomachs, right? Like kind of laughing.
Yeah.
And not a single person even gave me like
like
an appreciative pity smile. No, like
I would have.
like a little like the fake smile. The like
Yeah.
you all
I would
can
have
see
given
that,
you a
right?
fake smile.
Not a single one. They literally were like,
Bitch, you interrupted my final.
I didn't ask her to. My stomach didn't ask for that.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's kind of like that. The main big earthquake is estimated to have had a magnitude of anywhere between 7.7 to 8.3, with the most widely accepted estimated magnitude being 7.9. To put that into perspective, the deadly 8.9 magnitude earthquake in Japan in 2011,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but
do.
it left more than 20,000 people dead or missing and generated a massive tsunami along the Japanese coast, and it triggered the world's biggest nuclear disaster since Chernobyl in 1986.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so that was an 8.9, and you can see how much damage it caused even in today's world. So a 7.9, back before there was any type of oversight for like building codes and whatnot, you can imagine just how terrible that would have been.
Wow.
The 1906 earthquake was caused by an intense San Andreas fault slip or multiple slips taking place before and after the main impact, stretching both northward and southward for a total of 296 miles. So that's the whole slip was 296 miles long.
Oh my God.
And that's 476 kilometers for you people, more progressed than the U.S.
Good way to phrase it, yes.
Reports as far north as Oregon and as far south as LA, and then as far inland as Nevada came in stating that they felt an impact.
Oh my God.
The main earthquake was so strong, it permanently shifted the course of the Salinas River further south near Monterey. So where the Salinas River exits right by Monterey, it wasn't there before.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
And I feel like I just need to like mention here, for anyone not from California, it's huge.
Yeah.
California is one of the largest states. It's ginormous. It's bigger than I think some European countries are. It's big. And the entire state felt this.
That is crazy.
Like, here's a good perspective. We're considered in Central California, or Northern Central California. It takes us 8 hours to drive to like LA, or 7 or 8 hours to drive to like LA or Disneyland. So, and then it's like another 5 hours if you drive to Oregon. So driving 75 miles an hour from the top of California to the bottom, that's like a 10 plus hour drive.
And they felt it
And
all
they
the way
felt
across the
that
entire.
is
Insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was believed for a long time that the epicenter of the shock was near a town called Olema, which is just north of the Golden Gate. But in the 1960s, it was proposed that it actually took place off the shore of San Francisco, northwest of the Golden Gate. There's still a debate about the exact location, but just know it was near San Francisco. So for those at the epicenter of the shock, there was a strong foreshock. And then about 20 seconds later, the main shock occurred, and it lasted 42 seconds.
Ooh.
That doesn't seem too long, probably. I mean, 42 seconds doesn't seem long to me, but just imagine your world quite literally crumbling around you. I think 42 seconds probably felt like a lifetime.
And I think, too, not knowing how much longer it was going to go on for.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels like, oh my God, it's my world going to continue to shake until I die.
That was a perfect, like, leading up to my next statement, because the main shock was then followed by a series of aftershocks.
Right.
Mostly small, with the biggest one being about 6.7 magnitude shock in Eureka a few weeks later. So it went weeks later. So imagine having your world crumble around you.
You're starting to kind of pick up the pieces.
And then for weeks on end, there's all these little ones like living in fear, and all these little ones keep happening.
Oh my God. Like thinking of it on a like physical, literally physically picking up the pieces of your life,
Yes.
right? But then also like the PTSD that I can only imagine these people experience.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Wow.
For those in the city of San Francisco, they also got the super cool experience of witnessing a tiny tsunami.
Oh my God.
And I mean tiny, which was caused by the earthquake. It was tiny.
Okay.
Because a local tsunami was recorded by a tide gauge at the San Francisco Presidio. The wave had an amplitude of approximately 3 inches. And an approximate period of 40 to 45 minutes. I feel like a 3-inch tsunami is kind of a joke, but I'm sure it didn't feel like it at the time.
And again, not knowing, is it going to grow? Is this going to get bigger? Is this ever going to end?
Yes. So there's a ton more information on the intensity of the earthquake, info on like sedimentary causes and more intense theories of its epicenter. But I couldn't.
You couldn't.
I couldn't.
I still learned more about geology than I have in my whole life.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to discussing instead the carnage it left in its wake, or quake.
Oh, wow.
It's Women's History Month, and this year we want to shed light on a very important figure from history who you may not have heard of, Sappho.
Who is Sappho, you ask? Sappho is the first woman in the European literary tradition, one of only a few poets we know from antiquity, and the OG lesbian, or rather, where the modern use of the word lesbian comes from.
Introducing Sweet Bitter, an investigative podcast where we delve into the truth and controversy of Sappho, her life, the Isle of Lesbos, and her relevance today. Each episode, we take you through a fragment of Sappho's poetry, life, and legacy. And recently, we've taken an unexpected turn into a huge scandal involving Hobby Lobby, the Museum of the Bible, and an Oxford University papyrologist who fell so far from grace he was recently arrested.
If we've piqued your interest, as I'm sure we have, you can find Sweet Bitter on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
As hinted at by its name, the majority of the damage was done to San Francisco and its surrounding Bay Area. At the time, before the earthquake, San Francisco was considered the 9th largest city in the U.S. with 400,000 residents.
Small town.
Yeah.
So that's how many people live in my literal neighborhood. Yeah.
So you can imagine the damage this disaster left behind. Before I go into too much detail, Rachel, I thought you could just speed through and describe a couple photos that I found online of the damage done to San Francisco.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm looking at the first picture, and at the first one, you don't see too much of the actual damage, like buildings falling down or anything, but I can just see this pillar of smoke in the foreground. And I just have to address the fact that, I mean, there's a lot of people watching. There's a whole group of men just like chilling in chairs on the sidewalk, just watching. So,
and the sidewalk is like in crumbles. Like there's a portion in the middle of the street that it's just like rubble.
And then they're sitting just a couple feet away from that, watching.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on to the second picture. This one's really devastating. The only thing that remains intact is pretty much like the road that you can see some people traveling down. Everything else is in shambles. I can't even tell you what any of what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Other than like literal buildings that just like the face of the building is still there, but then nothing else.
Nothing else.
Oh. Okay.
More of the same.
One's the worst though.
Yeah.
So far that I've seen. And again, it's you truly just, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I can see like the skeletons of buildings and just rumble. Rumble? Is that the
rubble?
Rubble. I'm like, rumble does not sound
Rumbly and matumbly.
Rubble all over the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, and last picture. This one, so rubble all over the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Buildings are still like sort of intact, but they're all leaning against each other. They look like dominoes.
Yeah.
And there's this one house in the center. It's kind of a smaller one, and it definitely looks like it's about to be crushed by the
two leaning in on it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That is crazy.
Yeah. So according to an ABC interview of a survivor, he said he went out onto the street and it was just full of people praying, thinking it was the end of the world. Another survivor said he got a broken jaw, arm, and 2 broken legs just from the impact.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So at first, the death toll was estimated to be between 250 and 500. which to me would have actually been like a miracle based on the photos that we saw. But there wasn't an inch of the city that was left untouched. And now it's estimated over 3,000 people died, most of which were in the city of San Francisco or nearby in the Greater Bay Area.
That is so many deaths.
Yeah. So there was obviously serious structural damage done to all of the buildings thanks to the quake itself, but the bigger disaster wasn't directly caused by the earthquake, but by fires that ravaged the city subsequently. It is estimated that 90% of the damage reported was done by over 30 fires citywide, which destroyed approximately 490 city blocks.
Oh my God.
Just a side note, I just saw a TikTok where someone from Europe didn't know what a block was. So hi, I'm here to explain. For those listening from outside the US, I'm sure most people know, but most of US cities are like on what we call a grid, where it's just like straight lines. The streets make up straight lines. So like they're just crisscrossing, and the span of land in between those streets is what we refer to as blocks. Okay.
What do they call them?
I have no idea. Well, most, like, think about a European city. They don't have, like, it's not.
I guess I'm trying to transport myself back to London, and we walked the streets a lot. And I guess I don't remember there being like breaks in the sidewalk necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't really remember. That wasn't something I was like, when I was taking in the scenery, that wasn't something I was taking in.
Yeah, maybe that was just someone stupid that I came across on TikTok, or maybe it's not a term that they use. I don't know.
Okay, so forgive my naivete here.
Yeah.
Why, and maybe you're going to get into this.
Yes.
But fires as a result of earthquakes, why? Because like, you're going to get into it. She's nodding. Okay. Because I guess I just, explain, please.
Literally my next sentence.
Beautiful.
Get ready. Most of the fires were caused by literally the next sentence.
All right.
Most of the fires were caused by ruptured gas mains, but some were caused by something much, much stupider.
Oh.
Untrained firefighters thought it smart to utilize dynamite to clear structural damage and demolish buildings that were too far gone to save. And yeah, they caused more fires because they didn't know what they were frickin' doing. Oh, and on top of all that, the city's fire chief was actually killed by the initial quake. So I have to assume it's safe to call the reaction of the fire department a literal and figurative dumpster fire.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. It's estimated that 350 million, or close to 8 billion in today's economy, in damage was claimed after the quake, and nearly 80% of the city was destroyed.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, not 80% of the city was affected.
No, destroyed.
Actually destroyed.
So now I'm going to get into kind of the aftermath of the impact, like, culturally or on the city itself. Mm-hmm. As you can imagine, there was no immediate relief or infrastructure in place to aid residents.
Yeah.
So it's estimated that nearly 300,000 people were left homeless after the earthquake and fires. So remember, it was 400,000 in the city. So that means literally 3/4 of the city was homeless.
Oh my God.
Homeless camps were set up in Golden Gate Park and the Presidio, some of which remained there for over 2 years. The Army quickly built over 5,720 square foot relief houses for the displaced people. I'm trying to imagine living 720 square feet.
Especially coming from some of these homes that we see in San Francisco, like the ones that I just saw in those pictures. Multiple floors, multiple levels. Yeah, wow.
So these houses were rented out to people for $2 a month until rebuilding was completed. The 11 camps where these houses were built had a peak population of over 16,000, but by 1907, most of the residents had moved out.
Okay. That's pretty impressive that
that quickly.
Many of these people are able to, get back on their feet a year later.
The houses were eventually reused as like garages or storage spaces and shops. Most have been destroyed now, but a small number survived, one most recently being purchased in 2006. Forget this. Over $600,000.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure if it's due to like the historical significance or if that's just normal San Francisco housing prices.
That's how much you would get 720 square feet right now.
Yeah. Like a shack that was built by the Army.
100 years ago.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
$600,000.
Do you have any idea where that
where it is?
remaining one is?
No.
Is it in a museum or?
No, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, at least to me, despite the devastation of the disaster and all the complications of relief and rebuilding and insurance, which, oh boy, we will get into shortly. According to multiple sources, people were in good spirits.
Oh, wow.
William James, a Stanford psychologist, stated that he was most impressed with the attitude of the survivors and the speed with which they created order out of chaos.
Wow. Maybe it helps that, like, literally everyone is in the exact same situation. I mean, they're not all in the exact same situation. What's the phrase?
Like, they all went through the same shit, but maybe their circumstances made...
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, they're all in under the same circumstances, but some people experience more devastation than others did. But I think it probably did help that, like, you have this commonality, this disaster that you all suffered at the same time.
Yeah. So H.G. Wells, who had just arrived in New York on his first visit to the U.S. the day this happened.
Oh, my God.
He heard about the earthquake, and then he said that he was struck by the, quote, can-do attitude, stating, it does not seem to have affected anyone with a sense of irreparable disaster. There is no doubt anywhere that San Francisco can be rebuilt larger, better, and soon.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah, that's nice, but why? Like, why was everybody so cheery?
Well, I don't know that cheery was the right word, but just in can-do attitude. Yeah.
As mentioned before, property losses from the disaster were insane. But at the time, business leaders and politicians were strongly downplaying the effects of the earthquake, fearing the loss of outside investment in the city would cripple its recovery.
I was anticipating that.
Yeah. Then California Governor George Pardee emphasized the need to rebuild quickly. He said, and this is word for word, "This is not the first time that San Francisco has been destroyed by fire. I've not the slightest doubt that the city by the Golden Gate will be speedily rebuilt and will almost before we know it resume her former great activity." Do you notice anything? He didn't mention an earthquake actually happened.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. It's been destroyed by fire before, but like no reference whatsoever to this earthquake that was felt across the entire state.
Yeah. No. I think a lot of the, quote, can-do attitude and belief that San Francisco would overcome and become an even bigger and better city came straight from the mouths of politicians and businessmen who needed that to be true in order to survive and for their business to survive.
In today's terms, that's called gaslighting.
Yeah, yeah. And perhaps thanks to this overinflated, happy, can-do attitude, it did. It worked. Streets were rebuilt wider, a subway under Market Street was installed, Fisherman's Wharf was rebuilt in a more people-friendly manner, very similar to how it is today.
Interesting. I've been to Fisherman's Wharf
many a time,
countless times. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've gone.
Chinese immigrants moved quickly into the area that once was where City Hall and the Hall of Records stood, and they established what we know today as Chinatown.
Interesting.
This allowed them to claim residency and citizenship and then sponsor their relatives from China, finding a backdoor to the Chinese Exclusion Act at the time. Because they just said, they literally planted a flag where in the rubble and were like, this is where I live now.
Interesting.
I at least that's what I got from my research. The city was unofficially rezoned, making it easier for businesses to build where residential zones used to be, all thanks to the earthquake leveling the city and creating a blank slate.
Wow.
So the city we know today is not what it was. And to be honest, it was getting to the point where everything was residential. So businesses were having a hard time finding a spot to have a business.
Wow.
So this rezoned everything. The richer groups started moving more out and up onto the hills of San Francisco, and that left more room for Chinatown to kind of take root, and the business district took root.
This is so fascinating.
Well, and I think it started the expansion of the city too, because what we know now is the downtown district, that was San Francisco, right? That was the city. And so because of this, because everything was ruined in that area, people started kind of expanding outwards, going on to more of those sloped streets that you picture now when you think of San Francisco. And then so that kind of central area became more of the business district.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I want you to guess how long it took all of this rebuilding to occur.
Okay.
Seriously, guess.
Well, let's see. With the historical perception that I have, I would typically say literal decades, but you keep implying that it happened quickly. Let's go with 10 years.
You're right on the nose. 9 years. So all of this kind of like rezoning, and they considered themselves fully rebuilt by 1915. So only 9 years later.
That is amazing. Because to be honest, there's been a Target that's been trying to open up in Elk Grove for actually 4 years.
Oh my God. That's like, is that where they like built the
Are you talking about the mall?
Yes,
Elk
I'm thinking
Grove,
of the mall.
Elk Grove has what is now called the Ghost Mall.
Yeah.
Because it's this huge plot of land.
And they started actually building like the walls.
Yes.
Like nothing interior,
and
just
it's
concrete walls.
It's been sitting like that for actually, believe it or not, 10 years now. Yeah.
Because I remember in high school, is when they started building it.
It's now being turned into a casino, which is supposed to be up by the end of next year, which is actually very close to where I live. And I'm excited for tax-free buffets.
Oh, I was going to say
What'd you
girls'
say?
night of gambling and drinking.
I was thinking of
buffets.
Yeah. But I mean, yes, with
tax-free buffets.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, exactly. Like Elk Grove has been trying to build a mall for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
And it just ended up falling flat, never happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating.
Now, before I wrap this episode up, we have to address the effects this earthquake had on insurance and the economy. An insurance industry source tallies insured losses at $235 million, the equivalent to $6.69 billion in today's economy. And that's just insurance claims, right? Or claims that were actually paid out.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, most people's homes and businesses were not insured against earthquakes.
Sure.
Which is shocking to hear as a modern day Californian. I think it's actually required now when you purchase a home, you have to have earthquake insurance.
And there's, yes, there's like areas of California where like you have to have flood insurance over here,
we
or
have
like
because we live within like a mile of the levee. We have to have flood insurance.
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah. Some reports speculate that people were actually purposefully setting fire to their damaged homes after the earthquake, since that was the only way they thought they could collect insurance on the damage. That's kind of unsubstantiated. There's no proof of that I could find. 20 insurance companies eventually went bankrupt after the earthquake, even after excluding claims of shake damage. That's what they were calling it back then. Unsurprisingly, global discussion arose concerning the San Francisco earthquake and the affected insurance companies, mostly complaining that the insurance companies should not have to cover shake damage or fires caused by shake damage in future earthquake scenarios, and basically just saying like they should be able to leave their insured survivors without support or money to rebuild. But in 1909, the California Senate enacted the California Standard Form of Fire Insurance Policy, which
Long sentence.
which did not contain any earthquake clause, essentially stating that insurers would have to pay again if another earthquake was followed by fires.
Yeah.
This led to a bit of an economic panic. And some economists actually trace the panic of 1907 back to the devastation the San Francisco earthquake had on the insurance industry.
Wow.
It also eventually led to, ta-da, insurers having separate policies for earthquake insurance.
And that is what sounds familiar to me.
Yes.
Interesting.
To close out this episode, I thought it would be cool to look at some actual footage, like video footage of the aftermath and destruction of the earthquake. I found this footage on YouTube contributed by the California Historical Society, and most of the videos played over some truly sappy piano music, but I figured we could watch it, Rachel, and then maybe at the end we'll describe everything for our listeners.
Do you have tissues?
Yes, would you like some?
I don't know. It depends on how sad this music is. What we were talking about as we were watching the video is just that it becomes a lot more real when you're watching actual footage of it versus just looking at some black and white pictures or just talking about it, reading it from a textbook. That was really eerie in a really sad way. And I mean, just the total devastation, and people are just standing around, and we kind of were almost laughing about that, like, all these people just standing around doing nothing. But like, what do? You don't have a home. You have nowhere to go. And then I did see in that footage the makings of those like camps for the displaced people, and man, that was really sad to see that.
That was a perfect description, because I wanted to finish up everything and watch this at the end, because I know I am guilty often of glossing over the more emotional or real side of history that happened before like videos or cameras, because it's hard to imagine. It's hard to picture myself there or put myself in the shoes of the people who lived through these things with no visuals like video or at the very least photos. So I often look at it like more clinically and less emotionally. And I hope everyone knows that even though we come at a lot of our episodes and topics with a comical perspective, this one included, we do not want to downplay the human suffering that was caused by this or any other historical event. So I highly encourage you to check out this footage. We'll link it. And just generally when learning about history, just try to like take a second and remember the people that lived through it. Put on your empathy hat and give a moment of recognition to the brave folks who had to live through these things we now crack jokes about.
That was beautifully said.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of Hashtag History.
All sources used to put together this episode will be available on our website at hashtaghistory-pod.com. And don't forget to subscribe to us on whatever podcast platform you use, share about us with your family and your friends, and then give us a rating review.
All of the pictures we discussed in this episode will be shared to our Instagram, so be sure to check us out on there. Instagram is really our main hub for outreach, I'd say.
Definitely.
We do occasional live streams, which we haven't done in a while, but we will soon. We share our cocktail recipes, we post behind the scene videos and photos and so much more. So seriously, go follow us on there. Our Insta handle is at #history_podcast. Be our Insta friend.
Please. And then also come join us over on Patreon, where again, for as little as $1 a month, you can help support our books and booze supply. You also get access to some exclusive behind the scenes content, and we mail you cards and stickers.
Yes, we sure do.
We sure do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. We're all in the same ocean.
All in this together.
That's the phrase. So I will go ahead and mention. I will go ahead and mention. Okay,
We're
that doesn't make
rusty.
sense.
We're rusty.
We're
It's fine.
That doesn't make sense. We shouldn't be rusty because we did 700 podcasts this week. I'm having a hard time. I can
You
smell the cake.
For any newcomers, cumberbuns?
My eyes hurt already. We're on page 2. Oh my god.
Okay. For any newcomers,
Cumbers.
what is happening?
Hold on.
Oh, I just
second.
took a bite.
Just finish it. Just keep biting. Don't spit it back up. I love that was just human nature. Like, all right, what's next?
Good.
Well, to be fair, I also have tried it.
Yeah.
So.
There. Okay. We'll just display our acting skills right now.
Oh my god, that was so great. It was like as it touched your tongue, you're like. What if I had made you spit it back out?
I mean, I would
Spit
have.
it into a tissue right now.
No, I want to know.
No.
It was going to be insulting. I want to know.
I just was. This is no reflection of you. I literally was thinking like what animals eat, like
Pig.
Yes. Like I mean, they eat literal slop, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, don't take that personally.
No.
I was just trying to
But that's
make a
actually
reference.
pretty accurate, I would say, to my eating habits as well.
Actual slop.
You put food in front of me, I don't really care what it is. I don't. Truly. I have to burp again.
Okay.
I think it's just eating.
Oh, is that how it works?
All this should be exiting your body, but it's not.
No, it just is.
Or it's the fact that I inhaled it.
I think we took down the same amount.
I don't think that's true.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, maybe not. Okay. That was very stressful. There's too much stuff coming out of the sky.
Why is there an actual cloud behind him?